Each positive coronavirus case and each death in our community represents someone's loved one, a husband, a wife, a father, a brother, or a sister. And that is why it is important that we do not forget that we are still in a public health crisis. The pandemic has not ended, and the threat to our hearts, to our health and safety is not over just because more businesses are reopening. In fact, this is the time we need to double down and to do more to stop the virus from spreading. Every day, when I come before you right around this time, I give you the numbers. 141 today, 4 new people who have died as a result of COVID-19. And in many ways, when you do that, it can be almost sterile, just a number without a face, without a person, without a name. But these are persons, and these are families that are being impacted in many cases for the rest of their lives. I want to talk about a particular person today, and I've asked his family to come and join with us. On February 18, 2020, the Houston Firefighters Relief and Retirement Fund held a celebration to recognize Tony Pierce, 20 years of service. 2 months later, literally 2 months later, Tony passed away as a result of COVID-19. And that is how quickly life can change if you get sick with this virus. Tony was not just any person. For several of us in this room today, we knew Tony. Tony was president and head of Alpha Eta Lambda, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, which is my grad chapter in fraternities for which I am a part. And there are several employees of the city of Houston that is a part of this fraternity and part of this particular chapter. Tony is no longer with us. In fact, on Sunday, there was a special virtual memorial tribute that was being paid to Tony, and I had the opportunity to present to him a proclamation honoring Tony for the life that he led. Gayle, his wife, is here today, along with his daughter, Nia. They were a part of that virtual memorial celebration on Sunday. Gayle said some things during that memorial that really brought things home. And no matter how many times I stand before this podium and talk about the importance of face coverings and masks and social distancing, sometimes you hear it so much from me. It's just another message coming from the mayor of the city of Houston, and you would expect for him to say it. I've asked Gayle and Nia to be here today to speak briefly about Tony and the importance of us taking special attention, paying special attention, and doing things that did not save Tony, but possibly can save so many, many, many others. And so I want to thank Gayle and Nia in advance for them being willing to come and stand and be a part of this press conference. Gayle, let me call you up. Gayle Pierce.
Good afternoon. I'm coming to you as a wife, a mother, a concerned citizen, and someone whose heart has been severely broken. COVID-19 has impacted the lives of my daughter and I deeply. Who knew that when I took my husband to the ER on March the 28th, that would be the last time that I would speak to him face to face? Thank God that I was able to tell him that I loved him, and that was it. Because as you know, families are not allowed in the hospitals. And so my only communication on a daily basis was with the doctors and the nurses at the hospital. And with that, I kept an extensive journal outlining day to day, hour to hour on his recovery. He fought for his life for 25 days, sedated, intubated, and ventilated on a ventilator. COVID, which is the infection that took over and contributed to the pneumonia and the respiratory issues that he was facing. COVID-19 is real. Contrary to what we're hearing on television, it's here to stay, with or without a vaccine. It's just like the flu virus. It's going to come back year after year, maybe different strands or whatever, but it is for real. It makes me mad every time I go to the store and I see dozens and dozens of people walking around unmasked. I mean, it's just like we're opening up the businesses, we're opening up the state, and oh wow, this is over. We now can go to the beach, thousands of us, and just sit on top of each other. I understand that we need to support our businesses. I understand that people need to work. But why can you not wear a mask and protect yourself and others while you're doing this? I'm not getting it. I don't understand. My husband left behind family. He left behind his fraternity brothers. He left behind his co-workers. He left behind rodeo committee members, just hundreds of people that knew him. And to me, it's just unfair. We're struggling. We are really, really struggling. I now have to take on a dual parent role. I now have to take on responsibilities at home that I never had to do before. I'm thinking in the future, when our daughter gets married, her dad's not going to be here to walk her down the aisle. Okay? He's not going to be here for his grandchildren, which he had already named himself Pop P. And is this really what you want your family to have to go through? This is not what we wanted. He and I had retirement plans. We had things that we were going to do. And so now that's over. I would try to push on by myself. Stop being macho. Stop trying to be cute. Put the mask on. You can get masks that match your outfits. But the bottom line is you need to mask up. I know it's getting hot, but there is a mask out there that will get you through the summer. So please, I beg you, I don't want anybody else to have to go through this struggle. This is not fun at all. Thank you.
Gayle, let me thank you. Let me thank you for your remarks, and Nia, let me thank you. Tony was our Alpha brother, and there are a number of Alphas that are in this room. And I think, like we've said before, this is a journey you won't have to go take alone. And what you have said today, Tony is not here, but your words and what you've said can benefit so many, many others. And so let me ask you all, please mask up. And if not for yourself, for your family members, for your friends, for others, let's recognize that there are some things that we can do to protect one another. So thank you so very much. Thank you, Gayle. Thank you. Thank you, Nia.